Welcome into Jets Nation Radio episode 11. I'm Angus. Hout, across from me, Sam Brownell. How's it going there, buddy?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad.
Just
Happy
another
to be
day.
back.
Oh,
Happy to have
yeah.
you back paying attention.
Yeah, I don't have to drive a stupid, crappy grain truck where I destroy the clutch. It's mostly fine. It's the brakes that are really dickered on that thing, but
Sure.
yeah, that's why you don't hire a green hand for all jobs. But no, had a ton of fun doing harvest, and yeah, back here in Winnipeg, and I might be back out in Foxwarren one more time before the regular season starts, but that's okay. Gets a couple dollars in my pocket and gets me doing something I absolutely love.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, do what you love. You never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we get going, I just have one housekeeping thing. Darnell Duff, who has been on this program many of times, his partner Brodi has gone to do or has had surgery in Romania. They're looking to raise some funds for that. I've got the link going up in the bio of this podcast. So if you have a couple extra bucks, definitely support Darnell and Brodi. They've raised just about $4,700 of the 20 grand that they're hoping to raise. But yeah, if you guys could give a hand out to Darnell and Brodi, would be greatly appreciated because they're just phenomenal.
And even if you can't afford a donation, even just sharing that link, sending it to friends and families, that really goes a long way as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it would just be awesome if you guys could share or donate a couple of bucks at whatever you can do. You'd be just greatly respected for that. So that's all I've got. So this week, big week. Do we want to start with Young Guns or do we want to start with Mr. Wheeler?
I think we got to start with Mr. Wheeler. And we
Yeah.
also need to talk about Mr. Chipman and his letter to the public
Oh,
or
yeah,
to
that
his
too.
consort. But I think we have to start with the biggest Jets news of the last couple of years, like since Line was traded, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's easily the biggest news that we've seen since Line A was traded. Blake Wheeler losing the captaincy, if you somehow missed it over the weekend, was
If you somehow missed that, why are you listening to a Jets podcast?
yeah, but we're glad to break the news to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just I was not expecting that. I was just kind of casually scrolling through Twitter, and then all of a sudden that pops up on the feed. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Just
Doing it this late into the season or the off season, right before the season gets rolling, I think that's kind of what threw me for a big loop.
I think, I mean, I get it. It's a new coaching staff. They want to see how these guys work together. They want to kind of get in the room, see who's a leader. And obviously, I mean, from the outside looking in, something needed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
this might be a good kick in the ass for the team.
Well, and I think it's a good kick in the ass for Blake Wheeler, and it's also going to relieve him of a lot of pressure too. I think it's going to be kind of one of those things that works hand in hand. That really we can see the best version of a 36-year-old Blake Wheeler.
I think the same thing. I think it like I don't know if he handled the captaincy the best, and not even like he's still one of the better players on the team, but I just don't think like he wasn't that guy with the media. And as the captain, you kind of need to be. If you look after every tough loss, he would be like complaining about questions or super dismissive of the media. And then you look at guys like PLD and Lowry who go and actually face the media. Like every time it was tough questions that needed to be answered, it wasn't Blake Wheeler. It wasn't Mark Schiefele. It
No,
was PLD and Lowry.
yeah, those two, and that's I think towards the end of the last season, you and I were like, yeah, PLD is probably going to get to see this if Lowry gets the boot, and unfortunately, we had the full summer of PLD things going on. But honestly, it was kind of amazing how little criticism Blake Wheeler could take. And it's like not everyone's built to be a captain. Some people are just really good at what they do, but they just can't handle the tough questions. It's like I've done my job. What about everyone else?
Well, I think we're probably, or I think there's a good chance we'll see a different Blake Wheeler this year. A happier, having fun Blake Wheeler, which would be absolutely incredible to see. And I think having that pressure lifted off of him, and maybe it'll be too much having like losing that C. Maybe he won't be able to kind of overcome that, and it'll always just be there. But I do think that in the long run, it will be better for the team and for Wheeler not having that pressure put on him every single time.
Yeah, 100%. And I wrote about this over at jetsnation.ca, which is back. So go check that out. We'll discuss how that went down at another date. But I wrote about basically how Dustin Brown took losing the captaincy with the Los Angeles Kings a few years back. Dustin Brown went from a 28 point guy to a 38 point guy to, I believe it was 68 points, basically 2 years removed from losing his captaincy. The guy relaxed. So I don't think they're going to see a 120 point season out of Blake Wheeler moving forward, but I bet you 80 points. We could see an 80 point season over the next 2 seasons out of him.
I mean, I think we'll see that bounce back. And I mean, you look like Joe Thornton lost to sea in San Jose. Winnipeg fans weren't so nice about it. I'm sure that will come back to bite us in the ass. But
I mean, what's
it's like it's happened before. It's not the most common thing in the world, but it's. I mean, I don't think San Jose gave it to anyone right away. I think it also was vacant for a little bit. So I think it'll be good. I bet they have 4 assistants coming into the season. Probably Schiefele, Morrissey, Lowry, Dubois, or Ehlers instead of Dubois. Maybe, like, I don't know, but I do think there'll be a good leadership group still there. There just won't be that main one guy who has all of that pressure on him.
I would be shocked if Schiefele gets an A moving forward. I know that he's kind of he was the golden boy of the team for a long time, but just kind of like him and Wheeler were just such tight buddies. I don't know if I see Bowness allowing Schiefele to be an assistant. I think that he's going full sheriff mode on the team. And my guess is 4 guys just like you, but we'll go Jomo, we'll KFC and Larry, and probably Ehlers as well. That's my guess.
I think Schiefele will still get one. I think all that bullshit is behind. Well, I hope, and I know I'm awfully optimistic sometimes, but I do think that'll kind of be left in the past with all the like clickiness it seemed like there was. I do think Bowness is going to have control of that room one way or another, and we won't see what happens in camp exactly, so we won't know how guys are in the room, but we will just see who comes out with those letters on their chest, and it'll definitely be interesting to see. But I do still think Schiefele gets one.
All right, I mean, that's a fair assumption. I mean, like it'd be pretty rude to take the the letters off of Wheeler and Schiefele and then just leave it on Josh Morrissey.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think it's about, oh, who had one before, who hasn't, all of that.
Yeah.
I think it's just about leadership qualities, and that's good. That's what it should be about.
100%.
But I think Schiefele, he sometimes his effort on the ice, at least last year, wasn't the best, and I think that'll change as well. But off the ice, he's the hardest working guy there is, maybe other than PLD. Yep. But Schiefele eats, sleeps, and breathes hockey. And I think that's a good thing to have in a leader. I think I had some issues with Schiefele last year, do not get me wrong, but I do think he has that ability to lead in the just everything's about hockey and getting better and improving your game. And I mean, I think he's also shown that a bit this week being at the media stuff. He was the guy. He was on 32 Thoughts. He was on Tim and Friends. Like he's been doing this media tour for the Jets. And I think, and on both of those appearances, he talked about getting back and being with the team. They were, oh, are you golfing while you're in Vegas? Because everyone knows Schiefele loves golf. Nope, heading back right after this. We've got a golf day planned with the team tomorrow. We're all watching football together on Sunday. So I think, and again, who knows? No one here was in the room, but I think it may have been blown a little bit out of proportion last year how dysfunctional it was. You see all the pictures from the guys' weddings this summer. They look like they loved each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why would like, they're not gaining anything by posting those pictures or having a good time together. other than, oh, maybe these guys did actually like each other. It was just a really tough season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm fully agreeing with you on that. Like Mark Schiefele, I mean, I assume that you probably listened to both 32 Thoughts and the Tim and Friends interview. And if anyone listening hasn't, go listen to those because it does shed a good light on Mark Schiefele. Absolutely. And the fact that Schiefele worked with Adam Oates and is just like talking about the fact that, he's getting better at like just the simple things with hockey, which I think is really important. Is sometimes you get so good that you forget to work on the basics.
And I think we also sometimes forget how good Shifley is. Like
Yeah.
he was really bad defensively last year, and there seemed to just be something off. But he is, maybe you could argue Connor, and I mean Hellebuck, but Shifley's the best player on the Jets when he's playing up to his potential.
Yeah. When you
Cal,
like
like I guess again, Kyle Connor, so top two player on the Jets. And last year, I think bonus will help that defensive side of the game. And I think Shifley, I think, is smart enough to realize, and working with Adam Oates all summer, Oates will tell him, hey, you need to be better. And he talked about it in those interviews. He talked about playing in all four corners as a centerman. And like, I think he's going to he wants to win and wants to be the best player he possibly can be. So I think he comes back ready to play a 200-foot game. I
yeah.
guess we'll see what actually ends up happening, but that's really his only option under bonus.
Yeah. It's either you play 200 feet or goodbye Shifley. I think that's kind of the move that we'll be looking at because I think bonus is going full cowboy here. I don't think he's taking any crap from anyone.
Oh, no, that's his room. And I think I think we saw that this week. We kind of had an idea like bonus is going to come in. They didn't get a younger coach because who knows how they're going to be able to handle the room. I think bonus is going to come in, and he showed us that this week. He's coming in and he wants to win. He said it all summer long. I didn't want to go to a rebuild. He obviously saw the pieces that the Jets have. They have one of the best goalies in the league. They have really good forwards, and they have a base on defense you can work off of
Yeah.
if they're getting support.
Well, and like everybody that I have listened talk, like every major media outlet that's talked about the Winnipeg Jets, the talent's there, the talent's there, the talent's there. It's like, man, if these guys click, like everyone that has the Jets like circled in for that 21st spot again, well, you watch out. This team is going to be legit and it's going to be so much fun to watch, assuming everybody is buying into this. And, like Rick Bowness said during his media availability, if everyone's showing up to the rink having a good time, and honestly, I'm kind of thinking Rick Bowness is just the Timbits coach who's gotten really good at it because he wants everyone to have a good time at the rink. And if everyone's having a good time,
I'm drinking the bonus Kool-Aid. I'm here for it. Everyone knew that change was needed.
yep.
Like it was so obvious, and Maurice stepping away, whether it was the Jets giving him an out before firing him or whatever, and then Lowry coming in and not doing anything. It was just kind of par for the course when the real need was just a big mix up, and now they have that.
Yeah.
I mean, Charlie Huddy's not behind the bench for the first time ever.
It's a great day.
Like,
Yeah, I
so
don't know how that guy held on to his job for as long as he did, but I mean, hey,
his
guy's got
Chipman's
to get
loyal to
paid.
a fault.
It's ridiculous how loyal that guy is, and I mean, it's costing him bums and seats at this point.
Yeah, which is the other somewhat big news this week.
Yeah, look at that transition.
Look at that. It's
Yeah.
always a good transition until you say how good the transition was, and it just completely
no,
derails
I
us.
just want everyone to realize how good at my job I am, and then we can.
So,
Do you want me to just read off this letter here?
yeah, go for it.
All right. So this is from Mark Shipman earlier this week. We recognize the effect of the pandemic has had an effect on many in our community and deeply respect the decision. Oh, wow. Okay. Long and short, Mark Shipman wants more bums and seats. Sorry.
That went well.
That went real
yeah,
well.
so the Jets are having trouble selling tickets, and I mean they need to sell tickets.
Yeah,
It's
like
how they pay the bills,
season,
how the lights
season
stay
opener hasn't even sold out yet, and we're just 26 days away from that.
But you know what the answer is?
What?
Win some hockey games,
Yep.
or have some sort of fan experience that isn't just mediocre hockey. You look at all these markets that are succeeding, and there's things going on at the games off the ice as well. And I know they're different markets, but you look at Vegas, you look at Nashville, even Tampa Bay. I guess Tampa Bay is winning lots, which helps. But there's stuff going on. It's fun for the fans to go. And if you look back, it used to be really fun to be at Jets games. You're chanting at opposing teams. There's all this stuff going on. And it's kind of lost that one because like they're not doing as well anymore. The pandemic is another big part of that, having no fans, and it was then some fans and everyone's in masks. I think it's pretty much just everything's a go now.
Yeah.
So let the fans get back to that. Do you remember the Adam Party thing in Chicago?
My goodness. Yes, I remember that.
And everyone was going to wear helmets. I was going to the game against Chicago where everyone was going to wear helmets, and True North put out a thing saying people wouldn't be let in. Do you remember the tracksuit game? The first time Kane was back, I was at that game, and everyone was wearing tracksuits. But the Jets, True North needs to just allow the fans to be fans, and have a good time, and go back to being the best fans in the NHL like they were when the Jets first came back.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
We're not letting you in with helmets on. That would have been amazing. That would be something we look back at now and go, remember that game, the helmet party game. Like that would have been absolutely incredible. And they took that away from the fans, and it's just not the same as it used to be.
No, and it is kind of getting that all the corporate sponsorships in there. And I can go on and on about that because I've got opinions on it, but this isn't the place for it. But yeah, no, it's just like you need to let somebody, and look at Arizona doing like a college section. I get like that'd be very hard to do here in Winnipeg, but you got to have a section where I think you can allow people to be a lot more rambunctious than not, right? And I mean, like, yeah, it's great you guys have $5 beers, but you know, what's the cost of 2 tickets? Minimum $200.
Oh, more.
Yeah.
It's
and that's resale market is kind of what I'm thinking here.
But I mean, Arizona has that, one, because it's on a college campus.
Yeah.
And two, it's the only way they sell 5,000 seats.
Yeah. Well, it looks like they're doing pretty well with that too. But like they just need to allow something like, you know, really get Dancing Gabe involved with it. Get Mickey Moose really involved with it. Get those kids involved. And then it's like you really need to get the Twitter fanatics get going on that too. Like that's one of those big things. I think if you allow the hooligan fans to kind of be kind of hooligans, it's going to be great. And yeah, getting the chants going, that was one of those things that I just knew Winnipeg for having dickish fans who just knew how to throw the right kind of words into a chant. And I was like, yeah,
we used to have such a good time.
Yeah.
It used to just be completely unhinged, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
All the Laine's better chants, the Crosby's better to Ovechkin, Ovi's better to Crosby. It was not quite British soccer fans, but it was in that direction of just like everyone knew what was coming and everyone was having a good time with it.
So listen, Mark Chipman, whoever's doing social media there, let us do some crazy stuff, because I promise you'll get way more bums and seats. And getting the media attention, yeah, it's Winnipeg and everyone loves to rip on it. But if you got ESPN like being like, whoa, look at Winnipeg Jets fans, you're going to have people flying in all the time from the States being like, what's up with these Canadians?
Absolutely. And ultimately, nothing sells tickets like winning hockey games.
Mm-hmm.
If the Jets are an exciting product on the ice, more people are going to go. But I think the Jets need to stop just resting on, oh, it's a hockey market, we're going to sell $200 tickets.
Yeah.
Give the fans something more, or else there's not going to be sellouts.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're not the Edmonton Oilers where you can have a decade of darkness and still expect to sell out more nights than not.
Yeah.
I don't know why it worked in Edmonton, but it did. But it's still, Winnipeg needs to have its own brand of, this is us. Who cares about them?
Yeah. There just needs to be more.
Yeah, really. And I just find that Winnipeg, the Jets itself, it just seems to be a very corporate hockey team.
I think it's hard to, I feel like everything's kind of gone in that direction we just see the Jets more often. Like,
That's
I
fair. I
think
mean,
there's so much money in the league now that everything's sponsored and corporate. And
yes. Speaking of which, what did you think of the new patches on the Jets jerseys?
I don't hate them. Like, they're whatever.
Yeah.
They're not offensive. They're not like in your face. You probably won't even notice them on the broadcast.
No.
So what's worth complaining? You know what sucks? The patches on the Canadians jerseys,
Those
because
are
the blue is just a different color blue than the rest of the jersey. I know it's RBC's logo, but do something better.
yeah, like have
Like,
that match.
have like an all white logo with a red background. It still says RBC. It still has the lion or whatever it is. But yeah, I think they did a terrible job. But for the most part, the ones I've seen haven't been that bad. Arizona nailed theirs. It's
Yeah.
right along the line at the top, like right under that. It looks basically just like if it were to say, like, I don't know, what are they now? Adidas across there.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that bad at all. Minnesota's sucked. Theirs
I
was really bad.
okay. I can respect the hell out of the Oilers and Daryl Cates for just being like, no, we don't need those patches. We'll just throw the money at the problem. Like,
Don't the Oilers also didn't have they don't have helmet sponsors, right?
I wish I could tell you one way or another. I believe it's the away helmets that have the helmet ads, but I would have to triple check that one for sure.
Good for them, but also, like, whatever.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
think
mean,
the Jets did a great job of the helmet stickers. You don't really notice them.
nope.
Who cares if it says Jets on the helmet?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it's
Yeah,
bringing more money to the team, I just want to see that money
I just put it
do
right
good
in.
things for the team.
Yeah, put it like right into like we got the fan thing next weekend as well, which I think I'm going to. It's not a fan appreciation day, like it's a fan festival at the Iceplex. So I've had many people on TikTok ask if I'm going, so I think I have to go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Your first public appearance.
Yeah, basically, but I'm gonna be really quiet and awkward about it. I went to KP this week just to grab a new hat, and one of the guys working there is like, "You look familiar." Like, oh, cool. I'm just familiar enough to identify, not familiar enough to point out exactly. But that's where I'm at with my fame with this whole thing. So, but yeah, no, I really hope they figure out a way to get bums in seats. I think the big one is trying to get kids in, and yeah, I don't know what other aspects besides winning hockey games would get people in to see Jets games. Maybe have like last day ticket sales where you have them on for half price, like just single tickets.
Nah,
And I know
you can't really do that.
I
Because
know
then no one would buy tickets until last
last
minute, and
minute.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't really work. You don't want to be sitting beside someone, same seats, and they paid half the price.
Yeah. I don't know what the answer is. I'm just trying
Yeah,
to
just win some goddamn hockey game.
but unless you're winning games, what else are you gonna do? You're gonna have
Fan
Mickey.
experience. Have something. Have, like, Vegas has like guys like drummers, and they have all this on ice stuff. And I think the Jets started to do a bit more of that on ice stuff last year, but like ramp it up.
Yeah.
Pyrotechnics if possible. Have like something, anything.
Yeah.
But you gotta fill the arena. It's the now second smallest arena in the league. But so you gotta sell those seats.
Yeah, you should be able to sell out the second smallest arena day in and day out
In a Canadian market.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, you can't just be like, yeah, remember the time when we lost? Like, they can't throw the stick at the fans at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah. It's like, you're not going to take our team away from us because you'll have the fucking city. Sorry, the effing city in a riot. There it is. It took 10 episodes for me to drop an F bomb.
That's 12. That is 12 episodes, I think.
Look, yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
I'm just surprised you did it before I did.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone that's listening with kids.
Oh.
All right, Young Guns.
Yeah, so I've only watched like the highlights of the first game, and I watched most of the third period of today's game, but I know you've watched a bit more, so we're gonna switch roles here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, first we have to talk about Cole Perfetti.
Oh
What do
man.
you think he's shown in these first two games?
He's shown that he needs to shoot a lot more. That like if that kid could get comfortable with shooting on like a regular basis, man, he is going to fill the net, and I bet he would win Calder if he like shot 10% more.
But I mean, like, well, he's gonna have to basically lead the league in scoring to win the Calder as a Winnipeg Jet. But yeah, I mean, he's going to have so many assists playing with Kyle Connor. It's going to be absolutely absurd.
Yeah,
Like
I am.
he is such a smart hockey player
Yeah,
and
look,
he's so good with the puck on his stick. If he can stay healthy, I think he'll be a Calder finalist for sure.
easy. And like, just we go back to talking about Mark Schiefele talking about centers going into the corners. Well, just watch Cole Perfetti hit all four corners, and he'll do it all in a single shift too. It's amazing what that kid can do.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to watch Cole Perfetti, and like he looked like he was on another level out there. He's a little like you can see a lack of confidence, but he was pretty much where he needs to be. So Cole Perfetti, I have zero concerns about moving into the regular season.
Okay. Now, personal favorite of mine, Brad Lambert. What
Brad
do you think?
Lambert, love him.
Goal and an assist in the first game.
He rung one off the post this afternoon against
Yeah.
Vancouver. Uh, Brad Lambert, I am so disappointed he is going to the WHL.
I think it'll be good. One year in North America, not playing
Yeah,
against grown men, kind of get his feet under him. He'll end up playing for the Moose in the playoffs, probably. Like he'll come up once the I mean,
I think the
who's
Thunderbirds
he's
are
with Seattle. They're gonna go to the Memorial Cup.
yeah.
So it'll be tough. But like once his season's over, if even if it's like Black Aces with the Jets, if they're making a run, or with the Moose or whatever it is, I think he'll be with the team. And then the following year, Brad Lambert will probably be on the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, it won't take long for him to. I wouldn't be shocked if he joins the team December of 2023.
Okay, so
So
what would you think? Like a couple months with the Moose,
yeah,
or
I would say he probably plays the first half of the season with the Moose. If there's an injury, he comes up. He probably stays up with the Jets. I don't see him
the
going
Paul
down.
Maurice way? Everyone, Kyle Connor, Moose.
Yeah,
Everyone, just send him to the Moose.
yeah,
We'll figure it out
we'll
eventually.
figure it
It's
out.
worked.
Yeah, no, I Brad Lambert, I think he's going to be with the team a lot sooner than a lot of people think he is going to be.
I
That kid
agree.
he skates so well. When he shoots, he looks good. And even when he was injured during the World Juniors, this is like he still looked pretty good. He wasn't up to 100%, but he looked good.
Well, I think like I don't know. He's so skilled. The fact he dropped to 30 was absolutely insane.
Yeah,
Such a
like
steal for the Jets. Thank you very much, Andrew Kopp. Um, yeah, I think going back to Finland last year was probably not the best move for him, but it's probably also good for his defensive game in the long run because what did he have like 4 goals last year or something absurdly low?
yeah,
But I mean, he was also a 17-year-old playing against men. But I think we'll see a different side of Brad Lambert this year in the WHL, where he's like he'll be up there for points in the league.
his
Would be
stick is
my
going to be on
guess.
fire the entire year. The guy's
Yeah.
going to score. Yeah. I am excited to watch some Seattle Thunderbird games this year because Brad
Oh,
Lambert
absolutely.
is a stud. I was also a big fan of Holm, the goaltender that the Jets had on
Arvid
Friday night.
Home.
Yeah, Arvid Holm. There we go. He made some big saves when he needed to, and unfortunately, Cole Perfetti gave up the puck with 3 minutes left in the game against the Oilers, and ultimately cost it. But like Holm kept the Jets in that game pretty much from the first period onwards. He made some big saves, made little saves when he needed to. I like him a lot. I don't know if we'll ever see him with the Jets, but if we do, he's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You never know with goaltenders. There's always that question mark: who's going to take the next step? How long is this guy going to be around? All of that. Is it worth making this guy a backup? Is it all that fun stuff? But what about One
Danny,
player. What? Oh, Danny Zilkin.
yeah. Again, he was another guy that I thought he was very good complimentary player. I don't know if we'll ever see him as a Winnipeg Jet, but he'll be a good Moose.
And he might be one of those guys that bounce a bit back and forth. Do you think there'll be any surprise players we'll see this year that we saw at this tournament that will end up on the Jets at some point this year?
I'm going to be shocked if we see any of these guys end up playing with the
Other
Jets.
than Perfetti, of course.
Other than Perfetti, yes.
What about Bog Giovanni?
He was playing really good.
I thought he's been good. I think that could be a guy we'll see if there's some injuries. That could be a guy that comes up and
yeah, the Jets are depleted enough that they could
they're
potentially
not super deep at the forward position.
Lucius, though, I think we could Chaz Lucius. I wouldn't be shocked.
Great name.
Oh,
fantastic
amazing
name.
I don't know. I'm a little disappointed we didn't see Rutger though.
I am too. I would like to see Rutger, but I wish the Jets also drafted Lucius's brother this year.
Oh,
Chase.
Also, Daniel Torgenson. He was somebody that I think he will play a good fourth line role for the Winnipeg Jets, assuming injuries start to line up here. I think he's been a guy that's, I know he's still fairly young, but I think he's kind of spent his time down with the Moose and he kind of deserves to have his shot.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see kind of how guys do in camp and who does get those call ups, because it's been the same players the last few years. We've seen Cease a bunch. We've seen Gustafson a few times. Like they don't really mix, or they didn't really mix it up too much before, but it'll be interesting to see who comes up now with a whole new staff.
Yeah, I do want to point out Bauer as well. He's a defenseman. He scored the goal for the Jets today. I think that it's such a log jam when it comes down to the defenseman with the Jets. But if there's somebody that's going to get the jump up that's still a quote unquote rookie, it's probably going to be him. The guy just shoots the puck, and I mean,
yeah, well, definitely we'll have to keep an eye on that. But unless multiple D get traded or I don't know, something horrible happens.
Yeah, unless there's a freak accident where
because I mean, you look at it right now, just we'll pretend that we're gonna have the same starting 6D that we did last year. You have Nola, Sandberg, Kovacevic, Chisholm. So there's 10 defensemen at least in front of them.
So I mean, like it would take the opposite of a miracle to get Bauer on, but take a
serious accident of some sort.
Yeah, so
let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, we really hope against that. But yeah, no, it was a disappointing loss this afternoon against the Vancouver Canucks, but I mean, losses happen. It seemed like it was just a funny bounce game where the Jets just couldn't get the bounces going their way.
They did seem to have a lot of possession in the times that I was watching. It seemed like they controlled the puck pretty well, and then they would have like cough it up behind the net and Vancouver would quickly score on that last goal. Or like, yeah, Vancouver just seemed to be getting the better opportunities, but it seemed like the Jets had a lot more possession and a lot more opportunities.
Yeah. And I think when Samuelson, is that the goaltender's name? Samuelson, when he gets more time with North American ice, he's going to be a good goaltender, but you can tell he's still used to the Euro ice.
And also, the Vancouver goalie played unbelievable.
Oh, he was stupid
good. Chase Young?
Young.
Yeah, he was spectacular today while I was watching. So
yeah, and I mean, like he had one where basically he was sliding to go make being prepared for the next save, when all of a sudden whoever 96 was for the Jets ended up turning and just getting this wicked weird shot off and just fell right onto the puck. Like Young was going to be a good goalie. I don't know who's teaching the young goalies in Vancouver, but that guy is phenomenal.
Unintended. Well, we're running out of time here.
That's it, eh?
So have that little clock just ticking down in the top corner.
3:05. Yes. So, well, thank you so much for hopping on, and definitely go check out jetsnation.ca. We got articles going up on the daily at this point, so definitely go check those out.
And all the Jets Nation social media.
Yeah, Jets Nation on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, think that's it. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, Angus Hout. Been getting a ton of porn bots on good old Twitter. I don't know why. It's like, can you stop, please? I don't need 40 porn bots following me.
The algorithm knows. You can follow me on Instagram. It's Sam Brownell Radio. I've started tweeting a bit more again, going to try to keep that going as as the season gets underway. On Twitter, it is sbrownell12.
You're a private follow, so are you just going to accept everyone that follows you?
I should probably make it public. I tweeted so little before this, I didn't even know I was private.
Yeah, well,
so I'll make it public.
Yeah. Well, thanks for finally following Jets Nation on social media as well.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I did before.
On Instagram.
I followed Jets Nation on Twitter since before I knew you.
It said that you recently followed us. Either way, I'll get over it. Nope.
Okay, you recently followed me, but
oh, maybe that's my issue.
We're just airing our dirty laundry here.
we love it. This is what the last 3 minutes.
I think I accepted your follow request, and you probably thought that was me following Jets Nation, you jackass.
Oh, rookies here. Yeah. So give us a follow. Make sure you tell everybody about this podcast. The more follows we get, the happier my bosses are, and the sooner we can be to doing this full time. So yeah, share this, spread it around, and have yourself a fantastic week there, friends. Peace and grace, and be good and do good. And go Jets, go. First preseason game next Sunday, I believe.
Wow, that's coming up quick.
Real quick. So yeah, we'll be talking about some hockey next week. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye.